The other day, I popped open YouTube, wanting to listen to the sweet, sultry sounds of Moist Critical, only to find that YouTube had a rather unexpected message for me.
No. Wait.
Yes, it seems that years of making moves behind the scenes, YouTube has finally declared open war on ad blockers. I mean, let's be honest, guys. It was really only a matter of time. Users all over the world over the last few days have been getting slapped upside the face with this exact same warning from YouTube. Ad blockers violate YouTube terms of service. It looks like you may be using an ad blocker. Video playback is blocked unless YouTube is allowed listed or the ad blocker is disabled. Ads allow YouTube to be used by billions worldwide. You can go ad-free with YouTube Premium, and creators can still get paid from your subscription. Good God. I knew this day would come. Behind the scenes, YouTube for like years now has been having an ongoing shadow war with ad blockers, but now it seems like YouTube is finally taking this battle to the front lines as they have implemented new code which auto detects ad blockers and then prevents the playback of videos until said ad blocker is turned off. This is like really nothing new in the world of ad blocker and anti-ad blocker software. The ad blocker has grown in use across the internet, usually like by other forms like of media and media outlets like newspapers, magazines, news stations, and academic journals. Hell, even Twitch has gone after some ad blockers with their software. But like, why now? What has caused YouTube to finally pull the trigger on going after these ad blockers? And really, like, how much of an actual problem is ad blockers altogether, like, with YouTube? Here is a pie chart that shows the distribution of worldwide visits to YouTube by devices from 2022. It shows us that around 90% of YouTube visits have come from mobile devices, while 10% come from desktops. Now, this is important because personally, I would assume that the majority of people that are using said ad blockers would come from the desktop users, which as we see is only 10% of all like YouTube visits, so not that many. Therefore, it would lead me to believe that like majority of people who are YouTube users and YouTube watchers don't actually use an ad block. So what gives, YouTube? But you see, that assumption is actually completely dead wrong. According to this article from 2023, the most recent data shows that there are 530 million mobile adblock users compared to 290 million desktop adblock users. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I have an iPhone, and while it's possible to get adblock on iPhone, for example, like through Safari, I personally don't go through the trouble of using this. However, if you have an Android or perhaps like a Samsung, it's actually way more likely that you would use an ad blocker, seeing as it's a bit easier to do. And the fact that there are way more smartphones out there than actual desktops, these numbers begin to make some sense. According to this same article, mobile ad block has seen a sharp decline, which is almost entirely attributed to India's ban of UC browser, an ad block. This ban decreasing ad block users by approximately 106 million, which also begins to make sense as the most common smartphone in India is a Samsung. Okay then, so it actually does seem like ad block usage is a problem, a relatively big problem. I mean, if we take both of these two numbers from the article and add them together, that's 820 million people around the world using AdBlock on their phones and their computers, which to YouTube and YouTubers actually is just straight up dollars being flushed down the toilet. Again though, why would YouTube do this right now? To me, I can really only think of like two answers, one cynical and one hopeful. Cynical answer first, YouTube desperately wants to push YouTube Premium, their paid premium subscription, which is the easiest way, according to YouTube, to get around watching ads while continually supporting the creators of the videos that you're watching. I mean, YouTube's whole like monetization like policy, their whole monetization system is based around ad revenue. By pushing this like premium subscription model as well, they're trying to diversify their income and trying to shift more of their, you know, free users, which they only get a percentage of ad revenue off of, to like premium consistent paid users. As well, YouTube just wants to crack down on these ad blocker usage in general, similar to other types of media content like we mentioned earlier before. Next, the hopeful answer, which is that YouTube's motivation for going after this ad blockers is to continue their ongoing help to give creators more access to monetization options and just making money easier and just a better system for creators as a whole. Over the last few years, YouTube has made some really actually good solid changes for creators to help them continue to make more money and make different sorts of revenue possible on YouTube. And as we all know, these types of changes really affect smaller creators like me a lot more, because smaller creators depend much more on the ad revenue itself, because generally they don't get sponsorships. So by turning your ad block off, or I guess premium subscribing to YouTube, you are helping creators like me tremendously. Obviously, YouTube is going to take their cut of the ad revenue, which I would argue is probably a little bit too high. Regardless though, if you use AdBlock, not only is YouTube seeing basically zero money at all from that video, from that watch time, but so is me. So is the creator. It's tough, man. Like, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with AdBlock. I use AdBlock as well, especially to try to get around the really annoying Twitch ads, and the fact that in the internet space that we live in now, it seems like if you don't have an ad block on, like basically every single square inch of your page that you are on is going to be covered in ads. Regardless of why YouTube is doing this, the fact is they are doing this. They are beginning their crusade against ad block, and now we have a classic tale of an arms race. I think that this Twitter user right here really hit the nail on the head with their post. So who's going to create the YouTube ad blocker that can unblock the YouTube blocker that blocks the unblocker? Wow, that was a mouthful. Picking a fight with an ad blocker is kind of like Sisyphus rolling his rock up the hill. It's just never ending. YouTube enacts new code which detects certain ad blockers and then blocks your ability to watch said content. Ad blockers then will now invest their time to bypass YouTube's blockers to unblock the ad blocker so the ad block can block the ads. YouTube then will need to update their system to come up with a way to block the unblocker from the ad blocker, and the cycle is doomed to repeat itself with constant updates until the end of time. Rest assured though, folks, the many people behind the AdBlock plugins out there in the world, you already know that they're hard at work out there coming up with ways to bypass YouTube's new defenses, and there's already like a ton of workarounds right now that can easily be found online to get around this YouTuber ad blocker. Ultimately though, as a creator, I do like what YouTube's doing, as AdBlock obviously impacts the money that I make from monetization, and it impacts me a lot more as a smaller creator than I imagine other bigger creators. On the flip side though, I can't help but think of this as like a marketing strategy for YouTube to sell more YouTube premium memberships. At the end of the day though, I don't really see this having a massive impact or change on the behavior of users, like really at all. I'm sure this will motivate like a smaller fraction of people out there to commit to YouTube Premium for their ad-free experience. And I'm sure some people out there will just accept the fact that they're going to have to watch YouTube like with ads now, like a normal human being, though I'm sure most of the users out there will continue to use their mini ad blockers, which will now constantly be in a update battle to block the ad blocker. At the end of the day, if there's one thing you should take away from this video and this change by YouTube, is that if you are forced to watch a YouTube video with ads, remember that those ads are helping creators and people like me, and just you watching a few ads allows many creators out there to continue to fulfill their dreams and make the content that you enjoy watching. As without these ads, a large percentage of creators probably wouldn't be able to make videos at all. And I mean, think about it like this. You watching this video without ad blocker is going to help me pay for my rent. It's going to help me pay to feed all of my adorable fur children. And to me, like when you look at it like that from that lens, watching a couple of ads really doesn't feel so bad, does it? As always, though, this is just my opinion, and I do think using an ad block is completely valid, but I just want to know, to those of you soldiers out there who aren't using an ad block or turn your ad block off when you watch a YouTube video, we appreciate you. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, then please click that like button and subscribe if you have not already, because this type of engagement really helps the channel out. Click the video on screen now if you want to see more content, and as always, guys, I hope to see you in the next one. Drink your water, hug your mother. Until next time, peace, love. Adu.
Somewhere you wasn't born in, somewhere you was kids. I was 15, born in 1980, said it's 95. Yeah, some of the best albums of all time. If I was you, would down.